Hey folks, it's Florida Deere. Thanks for joining me today. Today I have my first comparison video between the Baumalight and the Woodland Mills stump grinder. So these are very similar stump grinders, but first I had to track one down. My buddy found this online, so I had to go, grab it for him. We tried to have them wait a couple days, but they were doing first come first serve, which is, pretty normal. But this is the kind of weather I had to go out and get it in. So it was a little shaky there, and but it wasn't that bad. I mean, it was pretty windy, as you can see here, but it wasn't terrible. And it was just about at the time that Tropical Storm Nicole was hitting us, so it wasn't a huge big deal. It was just tropical storm, probably downgraded even as it hit further inland, but. Here I am picking up the stump grinder. Would have gotten a better video of this, but it was literally pouring down rain at this time. Okay folks, so here's the setup for this one. Okay. What I did to try to get a good comparison here is to set this up where the PTO shaft is level. Well, I guess that's not perfectly level, but it's pretty straight, okay? So, and then I measured from the ROPS to the end right here, okay? Can you see that? Yeah, you can see that. And that is 44 1/4 inch. So that's the length of that. And I think this PTO shaft is longer, and I'm not sure if it's longer just because the whole setup is a little bit longer. These are maybe a little bit further out, okay, than on the Baumalight, or maybe that's just less bulky than the Baumalight. I'm not sure. And this comes in at 430 pounds, the Woodlands mill stump grinder, and so it is a little bit heavier than the Baumalight, which I believe is, well, we'll get into that in just a moment. So the stump grinders are pretty similar. They basically have the same PTO shaft, or at least seemingly the same. We'll do a breakdown of both of those, I guess, or at least partial. They have kickstands. These have this one has two transport pins right here and right here. Baumalight just has one in the middle, or one on the right hand side. So that kind of gives you a rundown. These are made in Canada, just like the Baumalight. So very similar stump grinder. They have grease points. All right folks, this is the Baumalight 1P24 stump grinder. As you can see, it's noticeably shorter on the tractor than the Woodland Mills. From the ROPS to the edge right here, it measures a full 5 inches shorter, 39 1/4. So that's a substantial difference in the length, well over 10%. Still has the kickstands, just like the Woodland Mills. It has the 34 teeth on the stump grinder wheel. Basically, I think identical PTO shafts. Of course, this one is probably a little bit shorter based on, that total length. It has the grease points right here, right there, and +2 on either side of the wheel. And then it has only one transport pin right here, where Woodland Mills thought there needed to be two. It's a little bulkier up here. One thing I do like about the Baumalight is it gives you 2 contact points, so I could raise the whole thing up, or actually further down, I guess, but you have 2 contact points here too. So, and this comes in at 350 pounds is what Baumalight states it is, and this one is also made in Canada, and this one is a 2020. So this one's a year newer than the other one. This one's, although this one's been pretty well used, it's probably not been as used as the other one. based on the fact that it was used by a timber company or a tree trimming company, whatever you want to say. So I think, all right folks, here's the side-by-side comparison. We'll do the Baumalight first. At 350 pounds, you can see why it might be 80 pounds less than the Woodland Mills. Certainly thinner gauge steel than, say, this. That's pretty thick gauge steel right there. I'm gonna say well over, you know, we're closing on a 1/2 inch steel right there, which could just really be overkill for the one versus the other, as I'm not sure what kind of, like, you know, heavy duty kind of stuff it would do other than stump grinding. So I guess the extra weight could keep it a little bit better planted on a stump as it grinds. That could be an advantage of more weight, and, you know, probably a better ballast item, you know, when you're not using it and you just have it on the tractor. Although again, it sticks out 5 inches more, so that's kind of an issue too, which of course would make it heavier, but then also the opportunity would be there to hit more things with it. And that's one of the good things about the stump grinder being your ballast, is it's a pretty small unit compared to many other things like tillers or bush hogs or, you know, those kind of things. So they both have the pivot points right there. Pretty much very similar designs between the two.
For the purposes of this video, I only had 2 small stumps to grind at my house. In fact, I had to cut down the trees this week so I could make this video. I didn't just cut down the trees for the video. I did want to kind of thin out this particular area of the yard that's in where the chickens hang out, because I have a light pole that's going up in there. And but as you can see, the grinding action on the Baumalight, I did have a couple opportunities to really do a nice comparison earlier in the week, but unfortunately, because of the issues with Woodland Mills and getting it serviceable, replacing snap rings and just taking care of some other minor things that needed to be done to it, I didn't have the opportunity to use it on the larger stumps that I really wanted to use it for. So probably in the next couple weeks, I'll have another opportunity to use both stumps, or to use both stump grinders on somebody else's property. It could be the owner of the Woodland Mills property, or it might be somebody else's if the need arises. But it was just, you know, getting that thing serviced was just kind of a pain in the butt, and the timing just didn't work out. It's kind of like the timing as you see here. It's dark, and I had to slide that PTO shaft back on to the stump grinder itself, which ended up being really difficult to do. Required a lot of hammering, and then I had to do some grinding, and anyways, it was just sort of a mess. But in any case, I will have a better comparison video, or performance comparison video, coming up soon. Hey folks, that concludes this video. I appreciate you watching. If you liked the video, hit the like button. That would help me out quite a bit. And if you wanted to see more videos on stump grinding, John Deere 1 Series tractors, or John Deere garden tractors, you can hit the subscribe button, and you will catch all my future videos as well. Thanks for watching. Bye.